Welcome to a brand new season of Industry Leaders. You'll meet people with real passion who through dedication and hard work became our industry leaders. They'll share their inspirational stories of resilience and hope as they advance their chosen industry. On this episode, we'll meet your lash and brow experts, a company playfully helping babies self-feed, plus a clinic offering an extensive range of treatments. But first, meet Eternal Bridals founders and owners, Linda and Sebastian Lee, who both fell into the bridal fashion business through architecture. Today, their bridal clients include Beyonce. Industry Leaders, brought to you by Annex Media.
I first migrated to Australia in 1996 with my parents. My dad was a builder, so he will always come home with lots of architectural drawings. That's how I sort of fall into the interior design field to begin with. I never thought I would be in fashion, especially bridal fashion. Well, this is Thelma. She's a beautiful piece, and actually Beyonce actually wore it to renew her vow recently.
Both my parents, they were teachers, so actually I went to the same high school that my dad taught at. I was really passionate about with architecture. You know, since a very young age, I've been drawing about buildings and cityscapes and things like that because it makes me really happy. So I went to uni for 6 years because that's how long it takes to get an architecture degree, and practiced professionally for 6 years as well. I met Lindo at work. So Lindo was working as an interior designer and I was working as an architect. So when we got engaged, we did what a lot of couples would have done, which is to plan for the wedding together. And throughout the journey, we felt that the whole experience was a little bit underwhelming. And we thought maybe we could do something that is better, something that is different, and something that was lacking, which was what we were looking for, because wedding is supposed to be fun, it's supposed to be exciting, it's supposed to be happy.
And we started this business on the side. I still remember our first showroom started in our garage in 2009, where we felt there's a need for us to go into it and do it with a full-time commitment.
So it's been 11 years since we started the business, and in 2019 we're quite fortunate because we're in two of a very, very prestigious location in Australia, being in the Strand Arcade here in Sydney, and also in Melbourne. We're located on the High Street in Armadale.
Eternal Bridal Service is all about understanding our customers, understanding this is a very exciting time for the brides, and it is such a privilege to be involved in one of the most important days of their life. So I think it's very important for our team to be able to understand, align with our vision, and we always make sure that we have lots of care, lots of patience, and lots of understanding, and really help the brides to guide them through this dress hunting phase.
Bridal and wedding dresses is a very happy industry, I must say. And it is very rewarding because we hear about their stories in terms of how the fiancé proposed, how they fell in love. One that really stood out right now is recently we did what we call a bridal trunk show. So bridal trunk show is where we bring a collection of premium and high-end dresses into different locations. So we travel between Melbourne, Sydney and Gold Coast in a beautiful hotel setup, and we invite brides to come in to try on dresses that aren't usually here in Australia. So there was a bride who came in and she mentioned about the story of how the fiancé proposed, and that passed away a few years ago. And the gentleman actually took our bride in front of the father's grave and actually asked for the permission. That was the singer. So when she found the right dress, she played the song that Daddy was singing on the phone, and everyone's just crying, including ourselves as well, because that to us, this is why we do what we do. I mean, yes, there's always a business side, there's always a finance side, there's always the daily tasks and things like that, but it's actually moments like these that keeps our passion going.
It was such a privilege to take home the Australian Wedding Business of the Year in 2018. I think it's definitely, no doubt, a confident booster in our team, and for us to deliver, excelled in what we do and still maintain excellence in service. I really feel that we can all caught up in the whole process of the wedding planning, and it's stressful. There's a lot of things to consider, a lot of people to please. I always would like to send a message to the bride that is just be you, and work on the marriage rather than plan for the wedding, because I think this is only the beginning of your journey. So it's important that you and your partner align at every stage of your life.
Now, there's a saying from Jack Ma that really resonates with me, and I think it makes so much sense, because Jack Ma once said, you know what, today is hard, tomorrow is going to be worse, but maybe the day after tomorrow there might be sunshine. And that's the sunshine that we're constantly looking at, and I think that gives us a very good inspiration to move forward with everything that we do.
Ahead on Industry Leaders, a company offering a range of treatments, products and services utilising only the best medical-grade technology. Zimbabwe-born Clinica Laser's director and owner Crystal Patel entered the beauty industry at just 16.
I've always been in the aesthetic field and decided to open up Clinica Laser back in 2009. So fast forward 10 years, we've now got 2 clinics, one in Carlton and also one in Ballarat. My role is still very hands-on in clinic. I try and spend 2 days a week at each clinic, but I do spend a lot of time developing my staff and working on the business. I do also have an external clinical role training for a leading aesthetic laser company, Cutera, so it really does help me, keep at the forefront of our industry as well. Of our most popular treatments that we offer at the clinic. Number 1 is Laser Genesis. Laser Genesis is probably one of the most popular treatments that we do in clinic because of its no downtime approach. So clients tend to come in within their lunch breaks, or if they've got an event the next day, it's great to get the skin prepped. How it works is it heats up the tissue on a deeper level and it stimulates new collagen formation. Great to treat acne, which we do a lot of in clinic, and we see such incredible results. The next one is Picogenesis. It's a treatment that's taken the world by storm. It is massive in the US, huge in Asia, but the thing that we love about it is we're able to treat lots of varying skin types and conditions. People love it because the downtime is quite minimal, but it's really great to improve different pigment changes in the skin. It gives you that really luminous glow, and it really improves people's texture of their skin. And the third one is our tattoo removal. So again, we're one of the only clinics in Melbourne that have got this technology, and so it's really exciting. People are getting amazing results. So the technology that we have here at Clinica Laser is using the Cutera Enlighten 3. We love it for tattoo removal because of the technology that it uses. So we are able to use 2 different pulse durations, both nanosecond and picosecond, and so we find the results people achieve, they do with far fewer treatments. But also it's the downtime. Most of the time when you have tattoo removal, you have to dress the area because it can blister, whereas we find most of our clientele don't have any downtime, and so they can walk out of here. It's a bit tender, but that's pretty much it. I was actually born in Zimbabwe and then travelled to the US with my parents, and then went to boarding school for a year in India and ended up settling in New Zealand, which is predominantly where I grew up. I was 16 almost and decided school wasn't for me, so just wanted to leave. Mum and Dad decided that that really wasn't going to happen, so I had to find something very quick that I wanted to do, and that is how I got into the beauty industry. At the time I was too young to do the course, and so with a little bit of persistence they accepted me, and I finished that and then moved to Sydney when I was almost 18. And it kind of just went from there. I ended up working for a doctor and getting into dermal therapies, and once I started the clinic I actually went back to study nursing, which I graduated in 2015. It was obviously really difficult studying full-time whilst having a clinic that I was running and working in full-time. It was also the time in which I decided to open Ballarat, which in hindsight was absolute madness, but it just shows that when you're really passionate and you're dedicated and you want to achieve something, hard work does go a long way.
My role here at Clinic Allays is dermal clinician, which entails me being able to help people achieve their skin goals. So the most rewarding part for me about working here is getting to come into work every day and work with such an amazing bunch of people. We always have a laugh and have a great time, but my passion has always been with skin, so it's really nice to be able to utilise that to help other people feel confident.
Education in any industry is really important. It's something I invest a lot into my staff so that they are able to deliver the absolute best to our clients. Clients often come in here because they've got a concern or they want to improve something, and I love that my staff have got the capabilities to provide real natural looking results for these clients so that they're able to feel really confident in their skin. There has been too many memorable milestones for us. From the day that we opened our doors and we had our first client enter the clinic, it was just me, a part-time receptionist, and we had one laser machine. So to see how the clinic has grown and to all the offerings that we now have, there has been way too many to kind of single out one. In 2020, we turned 10 years old, so it's going to be a pretty big year for us. We've kind of outgrown our space in Carlton, so a new space might be on the cards. Always wanted to look at a third location, which we have been researching. So again, watch this space.
Still to come on Industry Leaders, the Aussie behind the world's first self-feeding blocks. Inventor, founder and CEO of Mash Blocks, Alex O'Hara, created the blocks when she was homeless through a flash of inspiration from watching a toddler eat an apple.
January 2016, I was watching this toddler chomping into an apple that he kept on dropping, bouncing, rolling in the dirt, very much like it was a ball, and then he'd pick it up and go to eat it again as it's getting progressively more covered in dirt. And I was thinking this tendency of children to play with their food and to explore the world through their mouths seemed to be fairly universal. How could we make this less messy and more hygienic? So hollow silicon building blocks was my simplest solution. Mash blocks is just for the consistency food that we recommend in there. So Mash Blocks is the world's most versatile infant self-feeding tool. There are a couple of other products out there, but certainly none that place the emphasis on the kid feeding themselves. We partner university research with childcare centres to run the longitudinal trials on the benefits of self-feeding to both fussy eating and their long-term health outcomes. The demographics that we target with that are kids up to about 3.5, although we've got 8-year-olds and 12-year-olds that are in love with them too. But also anyone else that struggles to feed themselves for whatever reason, like maybe they shake or maybe they've got muscular problems. We believe that nobody knows better than the child how much they need to eat, and when they're so used to putting everything in their mouth, then why not use that to let them feed themselves? We get to adulthood and we say everything in moderation, but what does that mean except what your parents have taught you how much you need to eat? There are so many potential problems that could be solved so easily just by giving the kids the control and giving them healthy foods to start off with.
And because the mash blocks are clear, I find that I'm able to use multiple healthy foods, but layer them so that it looks interesting, and then that makes them, I guess, curious. They want to get to the bottom, so they want to be able to access all of the layers of colours. They love them, I think, particularly at this age, because they're squishy and they're able to stick their hands inside them and play with them and whatnot. They find them interesting to use, and it's a bit of a toy, a bit of a game.
I'm an exhibited artist. I've done some modelling. I've been an enterprise level ICT project manager. I spent 5 years in customer service. That was my first real love. And this kind of ties all of it together. I actually founded the company when I was homeless. My previous employers and a whole pile of personal circumstances just landed me there, and I was absolutely determined that I was never going to work for anyone else ever again. So I started looking out for opportunities. It only leaves a couple of options. And from there I just had that flash of inspiration watching that toddler with an apple and thinking there's got to be a better way to do this. I mentioned that I founded while I was homeless, and that was a challenge. But the bigger one was honestly all the limiting beliefs that had helped land me there. So for every inch that I've taken on a professional level, I've had to put in at least equal or double effort personally to change the mindsets to bring me further to whom I need to be. I brought Mashbox to market 13 months after founding. We attained 1.36% of the Canberra market within a month. I got my first business award shortly after that. Along the way I got a Certificate 3 of Small Business Management, which I thought was hilarious that it came after the first award. I was recognised in 2 categories for the New South Wales ACT Young Achievers, and I won the Small Business category. I was particularly proud to be in the finals for the Optus My Business Young Business Leader of the Year. That was a national award. There have been so many people that have been absolutely critical to this journey. I believe that it takes a village to raise a child, and it takes a whole community to raise a startup baby. So some in particular that have been critical. Griffin Accelerator, they gave me my first seed funding and the mentorship to help me take this forward. Canberra Women in Business, my first business award, and that have led me to some of the others that started attracting broader attention. The broader Canberra Innovation Network and community, and certainly my team, without whom I wouldn't be able to keep this running, and the mums that have seen the value in the product and seen its versatility, and the kids that are loving it so much. Leadership to me is about empowering the worthy around you and creating win-win situations that you can all deliver each other what you want, and exercising their individual passions. Mashbox future and upcoming plans. We need to launch the brand nationally, which I'm hoping this will be able to help with. We've got a mobile application underway as well, which will help us drive this self-feeding culture that I'm pushing towards multinationally. We also have a bioplastic in the works, which we're going to create in this shape to disrupt the baby food packaging that is kind of encouraging kids towards eating fructose sweetened purees.
Stay tuned to Industry Leaders for a business shaping the future of beauty. Zubayas Threading's founders, Sandrine and Rizwan Sayed, who use the ancient natural technique of threading, will share their secret for the best chance to win in business.
of Zubius Threading. Basically, running the business, ensuring the system, which is the business, is well oiled, operating really well, and all the parts are in sync.
I am the co-founder and the director of Zubius Threading. My husband and I, we started the business in 2008. We ran 29 salons in Perth, and we also work on strategic planning, on marketing, coaching the team, and the everyday task of running a business. We specialize in eyebrow threading. We also do all the services related to eyebrows and lashes. So we do full face threading. We also do lash extensions, lash lifting, tattoos, henna tinting, all of these products related to lash and brow. We also have our own signature makeup, and we provide solutions for everybody's problems for eyebrows. Threading is a natural way of removing hair. It is an ancient technique. There is no chemical, just a piece of thread that is rolled along the skin, and that allows to pull the hair from the follicle. It's really quick, really efficient. It can pull a row of hair all at once, and it's very accurate, and it doesn't hurt as much as waxing does.
When we actually researched online, when we started the business, we realized that threading is very ancient. We don't know, roughly it's about 6,000 years old. However, I do have a theory about how threading started. In India, I used to watch how the jute rope was made. And there'll be a lady sitting down on the side of the road, and they will have all the coconut tree skin. So they would separate those strands, and they actually line them up and they loop it around their long toe. So they put their foot straight and they loop it around their long big toe, and then they kind of spin the two strands together, and they continue adding more strands and loop it. And when you're doing that, the spin, if they had any hair caught in there, even on their leg or anything, would just get pulled right out, because it's literally like a machine that chews up the hair. I imagine that in the olden days, when people were building or constructing or creating materials, it's very likely that some of the hair got caught, and they go, oh, we can use this method to actually do hair removal.
Originally, I am from France, and I moved to Australia in 2002. I was a teacher of French in a French language center, and I worked there for a few years. I got promoted as a teaching coordinator, and later on as acting director. So I worked for a total of 5 years in Adelaide, and I left the company, moved from Adelaide to Perth to start my business with my husband.
Grew up in India in a very mid-sized city with about 7.3 million people in it. One of 8 kids. So I suppose that all of those experiences and the limitation of resources and abundance of people and demand for everything actually gave me all the sense of community and people and working together. Also helped me understand others' point of view and navigate through different mindsets, different attitudes and different values, and appreciate the differences. I believe a business will never see 2 days that are the same, and a lot of times it will be very enjoyable, and there are times where it's going to test you pretty significantly as well. So believing in yourself, believing in what you're doing, and believing that you can solve it is the right attitude that gives you the best chance to win.
What I'm the most proud of is our team culture, our company culture. Every time we have a new team member joining our company, they always mention about how different and how beautiful our culture is.
a lot of respect towards this country because we came here and we found ourselves in this lovely culture and environment, and the main sole purpose is to contribute something positive to the community and make a positive change.
We got some really exciting plans for 2019. We are now ready to expand our brand nationally, and we are going to franchise our business to ex-employees who are keen to own their own salon. In a couple of months we're going to have our first franchise in Victoria. We also had some leads overseas in the Pacific region, so we might in 2020 we will also be looking into expanding overseas.